So in this video, we'll be discussing the very first topic of Python, which is the print function. If you don't understand this one line, Python will always feel confusing. But before that, as I mentioned in my last video, that Python uses an editor called idle. We need to open that for writing our code. So you can go to start or simply go use search for finding this idle. So this is the Python editor idle, which we use for writing any code. So I'll simply add it to the taskbar, and you can also do it if you use it frequently. So I've added to the taskbar. So every time you have to write any code in Python, you will simply open this editor. And right now you can see that there is idle shell. But this is not the place where you should write your code. Every code should be written in a new file, and this shell will show you the output, or when you run it, it will take you to the idle shell for showing you the output. So today we are discussing the print function. So like this is a very common word which has a meaning that it prints something, right? Or it displays something. So that's what this print function also does in Python. So whatever line you write inside it, it just displays that particular line on the output screen. So the syntax of print statement is you write print, the brackets, and you use inverted commas, and you can print anything inside it. So the reason I have used this hashtag is because right now I have written it as a comment line because I wanted to explain you what it is. So whenever you write this hashtag, that means this line is not read by the editor and it will not be able to print this line on the output screen. But when I want to run this line, I'll just remove this hashtag and it will not be treated as comment line anymore. And now this is ready for running or ready to display it on the output screen. So I'm simply printing hello world using the syntax of print statement. So to get the output, you'll simply click on run module and it is asking me, do I have to save this? So yes, of course, we will save it somewhere. So I have a separate folder for all my Python files. So I can save it as printing, but don't save it as print. Like you shouldn't use your keywords as your whenever you're saving, don't use your keywords. So we will discuss what are keywords in the future videos as well, but you can just save it as printing or something else, but not as print because it's a keyword. So I'm simply clicking on save, and then you can see that the line which we wrote inside the print has been displayed on the output screen. So just like that, you can use it for displaying multiple lines as well. Like you can use another line for printing a number as well. So if you have to print a number, you should not use the inverted commas because the inverted commas are for displaying the text. And if you're printing a number, you'll simply write the number and you can see that it will display the number as well. Now you can also write it in the inverted commas, but computer will treat it or Python will treat it differently. For you, it looks the same and even the output is the same, but the Python treats it separately or differently. Now you can also use variables for printing. So we will discuss what is variable in the next class or next video. So right now I'm just creating a variable where I've stored some value inside it. So if I have to like print this, I will say that someone is of age 15. So I will say that Alex is 15. So instead of 15, because 15 has been stored inside the variable, I'll have to write age, but because we are displaying a text along with the variable, we are separating it with a comma, and this will give you an output as Alex is 15. So if you don't understand this line, we will be discussing this in detail in the next class. So right, we are just discussing the print statement, and if you understand that this print is just to display something on the output screen, but you make sure that you follow the correct syntax of it, which is the brackets and the inverted commas, and you always separate a string with a variable or anything with a comma in between. Now what if I have multiple strings in my print statement? Like I have a string A, then I'm separating it with a comma, then I have a string B, and then I have a string C. So let us run this. And let's see what is the output of this. So you can see that A, B, and C has been displayed on the output screen, though there are three different strings, like there are three different texts. So whatever is in the inverted commas is a text, right? And you call it as a string in Python. Now, what if I want some hyphens in between or something in between? I need all these ABCs to be separated with something. So there is a separate method in Python which will help you to separate the strings in the same print function. So first of all, let's use the print and we'll write the same strings separated with a comma. So they are different because they are separated with a comma and they are all in a separate inverted commas. So because I want to separate all of them, I'll be using a separate method. I'll simply write SEP, and because I want to separate them with a hyphen or maybe a space or something, you'll just mention whatever you want to separate them in the inverted commas. And when you run, you see that they have been separated with, hyphen in between. So this is how you use a separate method. So you have one more method called end. So what happens is when you use two print statements, like one print statement is hello and another print statement is world. Now, when you run it, they are displayed in two different lines because you have used two print statements. So this function automatically ends the line and takes you to the next line every time. So to avoid this, if in case you want both these lines to be, displayed in the one single line, so you will use the end method. And if you just don't want to like have anything in between, you'll simply use a space or not give anything between this. And when you run it, you will see that both of them has been displayed in one single line instead of two separate lines. But you can see that there is no space in between them. So if you want to add the space, you will add that space inside the end method. That means you want to end your first line with a space, and you can see that the space has been added. Or instead of space, a hyphen or underscore, a full stop, a comma, whatever you want to end it with or separate them with, you will mention that inside this. So in this video, we have discussed about how to display a string, that is a text, how to display a number. So you make sure you can simply, run the number without inverted commas as well, which will not give you an error. But if you do the same thing with a string, like you see, I have removed the inverted commas from the first line, and this is giving me an error because a text should always be inside the inverted commas. But right now, you can see that 10 is not inside the inverted commas, still it is not giving me an error. So that's why computer treats a text and a number separately. And then we also tried printing a variable with a print statement. We separated three strings with a separate method, and then we have used the AND method as well. Now, some mistakes which the beginners make with the print statement is like if you have to, say that uh, number is 5. So if you want to say number is 5 and you're simply writing 5, or maybe you're writing that you want to add this like this. So this is also going to give you an error because you always, separate a string and a number, or anything you're separating with should happen with a comma. Even if you're separating two variables, it should happen with a comma. So these are the few examples we have used for understanding the print statement. I hope you understood this. And in the next video, we will be discussing about the variables, which is also